So you run a service business like a law firm or an accountancy. You've got multiple members of staff all offering services to multiple customers. How do you manage the scheduling of these services while maintaining a professional image to your clients? Well, the answer could be a shared bookings page in Microsoft 365. And that is what today's video is all about. But before we get into all that, let's just have a quick introduction. My name is Jonathan Edwards, also known as the Bearded 365 Guy. Now, I help businesses all over the world with their Microsoft 365. You can get more information at bearded365guy.com. Now, I don't know if you know this, but included in your Microsoft 365 license is a scheduling tool called Microsoft Bookings, and not many businesses are using it. Now, Microsoft Bookings consists of two different types of pages. You've got a personal bookings page and you've got a shared bookings page. Now, if you joined me in last week's video, I showed you how you could increase your personal productivity and even make more sales for your business by optimizing your personal bookings page. Now, you can find that video right on my YouTube channel. But today, we're going deeper. We're going to look at how you can improve your business scheduling using shared bookings pages. Now, we're going to be using a fictitious character called Fred Finance. Now, Fred Finance is the best accountant in the world, but is lousy at organizing his business. But because Fred is so good at accountancy, word has spread, and the phone is ringing off the hook. He's got so many people wanting to do business with him. So Fred's gone out and hired some new team members. He's hired a young man called Tom Tax. He's also hired someone called Bob Bookkeeping. And not to forget a young lady called Penny Payroll. But having all these new team members is one thing. It really needs to organize his business. His phone is ringing all the time with people wanting to make appointments. Guess what happened last week? Someone turned up for an appointment, and that appointment wasn't in anybody's calendar. So Fred, he sent for the Bearded 365 Guy to help him make sense of all this chaos. And what did I do? Well, I created a shared bookings page for his business. Do you want me to show you how? Let me show you on my computer. So here we are. We've logged in to the Office portal as Fred Finance. You simply go to office.com and you enter your Microsoft 365 username and password. Once you've logged into here, you go up to the app launcher at the top here, and you can see a lot of applications that you have. Now, we're going to be looking at bookings. If you can't see this, then maybe try to go to more apps and it will list all the applications. But I'm going to click now into bookings. And this is the bookings homepage. So we've got personal booking pages, which we covered in a video last week. So if you want to learn more about that, you can check it out. But today we're going to be focusing on here. This is shared booking pages. So to start with, we need to create a booking page. And you can see that there's a couple of ways we can do that. We can simply click on here or we can click on here. Both take us to the same pop-up. And this is the pop-up here. So create a new shared booking page. Firstly, we've got to give our booking page a name. So you might as well just enter your business name here. Something like this. We can then optionally add a logo, so that logo will appear on our booking page. I do advise you to do this, it just looks more professional. This is just made up for me, so unfortunately Fred Finance doesn't have a logo. We can then choose the business type, so just choose something that is related to you. I'll choose financial services. And then we've got to choose our business hours, okay? We can change these later on. So at the moment, it's Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, 9 till 5. I will include Wednesday as well, and I will click on Next. Now, at this point, we can invite people within our Microsoft 365 organization to our bookings page. I'm not going to do that at this stage. I will do that later on, okay? So I will click on Next now. Now, again, we can set up our services here. I'll just set up one service. What Microsoft has done is created a default 30-minute service. Again, I'm just going to skip past this because we're going to manually set up this page. So this page is an important one. It's people who can book appointments. If you leave it at this here, then people outside your organization won't be able to book appointments. Only use this if this shared booking page is to be used internally. But for my example, I'm going to choose anyone. I'm going to click on create, and that will create my bookings page. Now, our bookings page has been created. So it gives us a link that we can share with people, but we're going to configure it first. So it's obvious now that what I want to click on is Get Started. And that takes me into my brand new booking page. Our bookings page has opened up with our calendar. Now, if you remember when I was setting up the bookings page, I didn't add any more staff. So at the moment, it's showing Fred Finances because he's the guy who created the booking page, but it says that there's no staff, okay? At the top left-hand corner, you can see there's a new booking button. Now, what you can do with this, you don't have to share this booking page with anyone, but you can still use it. So perhaps people ring your office and someone, like maybe a secretary or a personal assistant or something, manages the bookings page. And they can go in and they can manually add new bookings. So you can use it in a couple of different ways. The next tab here is called Booking Page. And we've got the links that we saw before. So what we can do, we can copy that link and share this with anyone else. We can email that link out, or there's a little embed code here. So what you can do is, I've seen a lot of people put their bookings link on their websites, okay? So they tell their clients to jump onto the website and book an appointment. Now, there's a couple of admin things down here that we'll cover. We've got some business page access controls. So what you can do, you can disable direct search engine indexing of the booking page so it doesn't show in Google or anything like that. You can also require a one-time password to create bookings. Now, in my opinion, if you are sharing out this booking page, this might be a little bit of an obstacle if people have to put one-time passwords in. So I'd be tempted to leave this as it is. We've got some customer data usage consents. Again, you can get people to agree to your customer data usage, and you can customize that how you want to do that. We've got a default scheduling policy, okay? So this would be the default for all new services, although you can change them on a service level. So what we're saying here is that time increments of 30 minutes, minimum lead time of 24, maximum 365 days a year. So they're just the default. We can also notify the business via email when a booking is created or changed. So that's notifying us, Fred Finance Accountants. And also, you might want to send a meeting invite to your customer, okay? Especially if this is an online booking page where people are going to be joining their meetings via Teams. You will want to select that. And then we've got an option for staff control. So allow customers to choose a specific person for the booking. So say if you've got a meeting which is like a personal tax assessment, and you might have 3 or 4 people within your business who can do that. By selecting this, you are allowing your customer to choose which particular person they want, okay? You might not want to do that. You might want to do it in more of a round-robin way. Again, these are just the defaults. We can change them. The general availability, so we've got bookable when staff are free. So this will look at the staff calendars and see when they're free. We've got not bookable, and we've got customized hours, okay? And then you've got different availability for different date ranges. So perhaps a good example here, I'm filming this video near Christmas. So maybe you've got some Christmas hours, okay? And that might change the availability of your team. So there's some default scheduling policies there. We can also customize the page with colors. Display your logo. I didn't upload a logo, but you can display your logo on the booking page. I recommend that you do that. You can choose your own color theme as well. And then we've got regional and zone settings. So where are you based in the world? Okay, so that's that page there. We then go on to customers down the left hand side. I will just discard those changes. So when someone books in, either via the booking page or when someone manually books them in, your customers will appear here. So you can manually add customers here, which gives you all the information. You can put customer notes in and things like that. So there's a few ways that you can add customers into your booking page. We move on to staff. Now, you might remember when I was creating the page, I didn't add anyone in, and this is the area where you can start adding your staff. So I can go on to add staff. I can search for someone in my business. So let's search for Tom Tax. There you go. We can give him a color if we want. So give him green, something like that. And then we've got a few options in regards to Tom Tax. We can use the business hours, or we can turn them off, and we can manually use when Tom Tax is available. Okay, so I will save him, and then I'll add the other members of staff. There we go. I've now got my 3 members of staff as part of my booking page. If you're enjoying this video so far, you might be interested in my course, Discover Microsoft 365. In my course, I show you how to use all of the Microsoft productivity apps to improve your business, plus some amazing productivity hacks. The link to the course is in the video description below this video. Now, back to the content. So there's the services there. We're going to just skip past there for the moment because I'm going to loop back to that. But now let's go to business information. We've got some business information, okay, that you might want to fill in. You've got your phone number, your website, your currency, things like that. You've got business logo, business hours. That's just a little bit of admin. Right, let's go back to services now because we're going to start uploading our services into our bookings page. Now, I've got the default meeting that was set up when I created this booking page, okay, so that's there. I can edit it, I can copy it, I can't delete it because it's our only service at the moment, and every booking page needs to have one service. So what I'll do, I will start and add a new service from scratch, and I'm going to give it a name, okay, at the top here. So continuing in the spirit of our example, this service is called Tax Advice. I'll then give this a description. Okay, there's a description. We can set a location. So if this meeting is at your office, you can put that there. I'm going to choose that this is going to be an online meeting. And then you've got a little bit of security here. Send an anonymous meeting link to customers. So it says what this is here. This will ensure that your customers are not joining the call from their organization's account, and that's going to protect their privacy. So that's an option for you there. The duration, we've set this at, well, it's set at 30 minutes, and that's what it is. So that's absolutely fine. Now we've got something called buffer time. So what is buffer time? Well, for example, if we publish this bookings page, these tax advice minutes are in increments of 30 minutes. So someone could book a tax advice meeting for 9 o'clock, another person could book one for 9:30, then another person for 10 o'clock, and so forth. That doesn't leave you much time to go to the toilet, get a cup of tea, or maybe even just prepare for the next meeting. You are back to back with meetings. And that is exactly what buffer time is. So if we put buffer time maybe 10 minutes before and 10 minutes after, that means that we're going to get 10 minutes before the meeting and 10 minutes after anyone is allowed to book another meeting. Okay, so it just gives you that, well, it gives you that buffer. Okay. We've also got a price here. So at the moment it says price not set. It can be free, it can be callers. We've got lots of different options. Maybe I'll choose for this meeting as an example. This meeting is going to cost £50. We scroll down, maximum number of attendees, that speaks for itself, how many people can come on this call, and then let customers manage their appointment when it was booked by you or your staff. So by default, if someone books an appointment online using your public-facing booking page, what they can also do is amend that booking. So they can reschedule, they can cancel. This option here, if you're using the bookings page with an internal member of staff like a secretary booking appointments, then by selecting this, you are still letting customers manage their own appointments. So it's as you want it to be, okay? So that's the basic details. Let's now move on to availability options. And you will recognize this page because we went through this when we were talking about the defaults. And when I said you can amend this service by service, this is exactly what I mean. You can override the default options. So we might want to change these on a service by service basis, or we might just want to leave them the same. Okay, now on to assigning staff. Here is how we assign the staff to this service. We've got a couple of options at the top. Assign any of your staff for an appointment or assign all of your staff. It's usually going to be that top one there. Again, we've got this allow customers to choose a particular staff for a booking, and then we can choose the people who are part of this service. So Tom Tax is part of this service, and so is Fred Finance. So I will show you what that looks like at the end. We've got customized fields. So when people are booking this appointment, what information do you need? So at the moment, we've got customer email, phone number, address, and notes. And then we can make these required. So you might need the minimum bit of information. But then we've got customized fields, okay, which are quite useful. We've got drop down, or we've got a text question. So we might ask something like this. Okay, to prepare us for the meeting, can you be specific about your tax query? And I can save that. And again, I can make that a required or not required field. So you can get what information you want on a service by service basis. Incredibly useful. Talk about notifications. We can do text messages, okay, text message notifications, very good. We do need Teams Premium licenses for that, so that is going into a different realm, which I'm not going to discuss today, but text message service is available. Again, you've seen this before about email confirmations. We can do this on a service by service basis, notify the business, but send a meeting invite to the customer, and you can customize the confirmation email. Very, very useful. Now there's something here, look, called email reminders and email follow-up. Now, if you watched my video last week on personal booking pages, you will know all about these. These should absolutely be used as a marketing strategy. So we've got the email reminders. Now, these are useful to just stop people not turning up for the meetings or forgetting the meetings. You can send a series of emails. So we've got one default here, one day before, send to the customer, just a quick reminder that your service is coming up soon. I would absolutely amend that. Don't leave it as the default. You can send to the customer or staff or everyone, okay? But make this nice and personalized. You might want a series of emails. So this service is about tax advice. You might have a series of emails about tax, maybe some advice, etc., or documents you want them to bring. And once you've set this up in the service, it's all automated. Okay, you don't have to remember it again. Then you've got I'll just discard this. Then you've got your follow-up. So you can send a meeting after this meeting has taken place. Again, once you've set it up, it's all automated. So the default is here. 15 minutes after the meeting, we send something to the customer saying, we appreciate your time, book your next appointment. That's not very imaginative. Now, to give you a flavor of this, this is what I send on my bookings page, okay, as the follow-up. So it will say something like this. Okay, thanks for the meeting. This is how you can work with me. So they can subscribe to my weekly emailer, they can subscribe to my YouTube channel, add to the Facebook community, or take my online course. So this gets sent an hour after all of my meetings. You'd be amazed that this works so well. I'll often get people sign up for our newsletter, people buying the course, just off the back of a meeting. So use these follow-ups as a good marketing strategy, okay? So that is one of our services. I will save that, and we've now got our service there, which means I can delete this one here. Now what I'll do, I'll add some more services, okay? But I'll speed it up and I'll come back to the video. Okay, I've added some more services. So we've got our tax advice. I've also added a bookkeeping service. And if I go to that and go to staff, you can see that Bob Bookkeeping looks after that. We've got a payroll service as well, and Penny Payroll looks after that. So this could be our finished page, our finished booking page. Now to see what this looks like, if I go to booking page here and copy this, and then if I open a Chrome window and I dump that into here, let's have a look at what this page looks like. And you can see, so I didn't brand it up particularly, I've got no logo, but you can get a flavour of how this works. So we've got 3 services, we've got payroll, bookkeeping and tax advice. So if someone comes along and clicks on there, you can see now, look, that they can pick who they want. And both these people are available. Here's the calendars. They can choose any service they want. With that one, they've just got Bob Bookkeeping, and then all the questions are here. So if I go through this here, so if I go on tax advice, we're going to choose Fred Finance because he's the boss. I want him. We'll add that in there, put in the name. Okay, put all these details in and click on book. Okay, that has now been booked. So you can see here, look, I can now reschedule, I can cancel, I can click on a new booking. If I now go back to my bookings page and I go to customers, you can see that I am there as a customer because I've filled out the page. Also, if I go to calendar, you can see that now all my staff have populated this page. So before it just said no staff, now I've got all my staff here, okay? If I just look at month, you can see that that meeting I've just booked is booked in here. So I can see everybody in my business. I can see what appointments we've all got on a daily basis, a weekly basis, or a monthly basis. So that essentially is how to create shared booking pages to run your service business. It's time now for you to get to work. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you've got loads of value from it. I look forward to seeing you again next week.